last. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Resourceful Child series. If you are here, you can see me, you can hear me. Please say hello in the comment section so that I know that you can see me and you can hear me. We had some struggle coming up because the network was fluctuating. All right, in today's episode, we're going to be looking at how connection affects a child's learning or a child's response to learning. That's what we are looking at in this today in the third episode of the Resourceful Child series. Okay, if you are here and you are with me, I celebrate you, I welcome you. Have you been following the series? We had the first episode 2 days ago. We had yesterday a powerful session yesterday in the second episode, and yes, we are ready for the third episode today. Dear parents, connection is the heartbeat of every relationship. Yep, connection is the heartbeat of every relationship, and that also includes the relationship between a child and their parent, or between the child and their teacher. So you can also say that connection is the heartbeat of learning. You want a child to learn, then you need to connect with that child. If you are here right now and you have not invited your friend, you have not invited your neighbor or your loved one, then this is the time to run and do so, because there is going to be a lot to take from this session, especially if you're a parent of a child aged between 5 and 10. Children learn from people that they feel connected to. So the more connected a child feels to an individual, the more the child learns from that person. And this is because the heart learns before the mind does. I would take that again. Children learn from people that they connect with. And this is because the heart learns before the mind learns. Do you want your child to grow in wisdom? Do you want your child to grow in confidence and in purpose? Then you need to connect with them before you teach them. You need to connect with them before you correct them, in the popular word of Coach Wendy Ologe. Yes, connect before you correct. If you want to raise a child who is wise, you want to raise a child who understands purpose, you want to raise a child who is reasonable, then the first thing you want to do is connect with that child, because the heart of the heart learns before the mind begins to learn. Okay, now, no wonder in the story of Jesus and the children in Matthew chapter 10, verse 13 to 16, it says that Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me." He welcomed the children first. Let them come to me. He welcomed them before he taught them. Okay, the child needs to feel welcomed. The child needs to feel seen. The child needs to feel like he is important and relevant to you. When you can make a child feel that way, then you are ready to get the child to learn from you. Dear parents, your child learns best when they feel accepted and when they feel safe. When your child feels safe with you or with a mentor or a teacher, then that child learns best, because now they feel accepted and, of course, they feel safe. It opens the child's heart to believing. Yes. So you want believability. You want to raise a child, or you want to raise a learner who believes and is convinced about what it is that you are teaching them. Then you want to connect with them first. It opens their heart, as I said, to believe in you and accepting the convictions that allows them to start learning. Should I take that again? If you want to raise a child who learns and enjoys learning, then you need to connect with them first. Why are you connecting with them first? You're connecting because when you connect with the child, it helps the child believe that you want their good. It helps the child believe that this is about them and this is about their good and this is about what will make them better people. So the child feels like you actually, have some good intention towards them. Yes. And so it makes it easy for the child to accept the convictions that will allow learning to happen. Okay. So in the story of Samuel and Eli, okay, I'm going back to that story. I talked about that story in episode 1. In that story, we would hear, God called Samuel, and Samuel could not recognize the voice of God at the time. Now, Eli said to him patiently, when you hear, he said, go, right? He patiently guided him and said, go. When you hear the voice again, say, speak, Lord, your servant is listening. Now, that patient connection, right? That patient connection, that patient guidance is what helped Samuel to begin to listen or to begin to hear God by himself. So there is the place of that patient guidance. There is the place of that patient connection with the child that you are working with, if you want the child to believe indeed and not just follow because they do not have a choice. In many cases, what we have between learners and the people who teach them, whether it's their parents, it's their teachers, whoever it is, coaches and mentors, a lot of times when children are forced to learn, a lot of times when you are not connected, excuse me please, a lot of times when you are not connected to the child, what happens is the child learns or the child listens because the child does not have a choice. The heart is not learning. It's just the mind, and that kind of learning is not as deep and effective as when the heart is also learning. So mentorship and connection will create clarity and confidence in a child's journey. So when the teacher, when the parent, when the coach, when the mentor connects with the child, what it does is it gives the child clarity, and yes, it helps the child become more confident in their journey. All right. Now, what connection means to your child may be different from what you think that connection is. So let's talk a little about what connection means to your 5 to 10-year-old. If you have a child that is between 5 and 10, this is likely what connection means to that child. I need this place to be brighter. Give me a second, please. Give me a second. Give me a second. Sorry, I just want a little bit of sorry about that. I just want a little bit of light in here. Um all right then. Can you help me, please? All right, then. So let's look at what connection means to your 5 to 10-year-old. Connection to your child means I notice you. Turn on the slide for me. So, connection to your child, to your 5 to 10-year-old, means that I notice you. I see you. So, if you are that parent that constantly, in your relationship with your child, you constantly make the child feel like you see them. Are you that teacher? You call your child by the name. Call the child in your class by their name. The child comes in the morning, and then you actually greet them and call them by their name. A lot of times, as educators or as mentors, we don't even understand the power of knowing the identity or knowing the name of your learner. What it tells the learner is that you know me, you notice me. I am important enough for you to know me. That alone is a pathway or is a door that opens up for connection. Imagine, you work in a big establishment. I remember back in the day, when I worked in the bank. Imagine that you work in a bank like UBA, for instance. What is this thing called UBA? So imagine that you work in a bank like UBA, for instance, and then, the MD walks in. For some reason, the MD mentions your name and asks you, how are you doing? I mean, you are not in the headquarters or anything like that. The MD comes to your zone, say maybe in Abuja or somewhere in the north, right? Up country. And then he comes into the office and he's like, calls you by your name, like gentleman, and calls your name, how are you doing? Imagine how that will resonate, or how, I mean, what that will do to you. It means that there's something you're doing. There's something that you're doing that makes this person notice you, or that you are important. It makes you feel relevant, actually, that this person, has gone out of their way, he even knows your name and can call you by your name. It's the same feeling that your 5 to 10 year old, that your learner has when you see them, you hear them, right? They feel like, when you notice them, it feels like, oh, you see me, I'm that important. And for crying out loud, who doesn't like feeling important? Who doesn't like, knowing that they are important? So when you see your child, when you notice your child, when you notice that mentee, what you're saying to them is, you are important, you are relevant, you are valuable. And so I see you and I know you. Okay, that is what connection means to your 5 to 10 year old. Connection to your 5 to 10 year old means, I believe in you. When you say to them, I believe in you, even when they make mistakes. So, as parents, when your children make mistakes and you are able to put yourself in that place where you don't lose it altogether, and you are looking, okay, you are able to look at the mistake. I mean, you're able to look at the situation at that time, and you say something like, oh, I know that you can do better than this. I don't know what went wrong, but I need you to go back and put your act together and do this again, because I know you can do better than this. What you have just said to that child is, hey child, I see you. I know you. I know that you are more competent than what it is that you showcased right now. So I don't know what is going on, but I know there's something in there. I know that the giant that you are, that you have inside of you, is still there. Go and connect with your giant and do the needful, basically. So what you are saying to the child is, irrespective of the mistake that you have just made, right? Irrespective of what has just happened, I know that you can do this. You've got this. Go do it. Do you understand? So when you do that, it makes the child know, right, and understand. It makes the child feel like, something, mistake is allowed, or mistake is what will help me become better. And so the child goes back and come back. I mean, he goes back to the drawing board and comes back with, greater force to do better. So when you say to the child, even, I mean, I believe in you, even at the time where they make mistakes, it tells them, right, that there is more to them and that you know this. All right. Another thing that I see you means to your child, or connection means to your child, is, I like to spend time with you. So the more time you spend with your child, the more time you make for your child, the more the child feels connected to you. I mean, this is not just a child's thing now. It is the same thing even for us as adults. Imagine that your spouse makes that special time for you. You have this busy spouse who works really hard throughout the week. And then you have the special day that you have kept together to spend time together. And your spouse respects that day, honors that day, shows up on that day. What he is saying, or what she is saying to you, is that you are so important. You are more important than any other thing, that I have kept this time specially for you. It's the same feeling that your child has when you connect, or when you show up for them. When you ask, like, I like being with you, I like spending time with you. And guess what, parents? This can be in the smallest thing. Just having that 5 minutes or 10 minutes, even, in fact, 10 minutes is a lot. Just having that 5 minutes that you spend with your child before they go to bed every day, to have a pillow talk. Pillow talk where you're just listening to them, or you're just sharing with them how amazing or how hectic your day has been. That time that is reserved for you alone. It's a lot for the child. You may think it's just, a ritual, but I promise you, parents, it's a lot for the child. It could be that time that you spend once in a week or once in a month, where you have mommy date or daddy date with the child. What you have said to the child is, of all the things in the world, of all the people in the world, of all the things that I could be doing, I chose you. I want to spend time with you. So the more time you spend with your child, the more you are saying to the child, you are important. The more the child feels connected to you. It's very important that we make time for our children. Another thing or another action that we do that helps us connect with our children or help our children feel connected to us is when we give them our full attention when we are with them. Yes, you have decided, okay, finally, you have decided to have those mommy dates or daddy dates with the child. But half of the time, you are talking with a client while you are supposed to be having ice cream together. You're supposed to be having lunch together. You're supposed to be doing something together that is just you and I, mommy and I, or daddy and I. It's a date, for crying out loud. And yet you spend that date evening or afternoon with other people. Now that takes away from it completely, because now your child does not have your full attention. Or you go and have pillow talk with the child, and half of the time the child is talking to you and you're scrolling on your phone. The child does not have your full attention. So when you drop everything, you drop the phone, you drop everything, and you give the child the full attention, you are saying to the child again, of all the things in the world, this moment, you are the most important of them all. And so everything else can wait. I got you, baby. I'm with you, baby. So basically that. Now, this is the child that goes out there, and when their peers, when their classmates, when their friends, or even their teachers do not give them time, the child does not feel deprived. The child does not feel like there's anything wrong with them. They know that it is the person that has a problem, because, hey, from home, I've got attention. From home, they leave everything and they give me attention. So children like that do not feel deprived of attention. Children like this do not feel like you are not giving me attention in school or wherever because there's anything wrong with me. It's your loss. So if you're going to raise children who are confident, children who are not afraid of missing out, if you're going to raise children who can hold their own, right? If you're going to raise children that when the needs come, they are ready to be lone rangers when the need or when the circumstance require it. I mean, for crying out loud, our children will find themselves in all kinds of situations. They could be in a place and they find out that, okay, there's a gang up against them. Anything can happen. They could be subject or object of ridicule at some point. They could be, they could be, objects of bullies. It could be anything. They could find themselves in a space where, people are laughing at them. Now, when things like this happen, it's how confident the child is, or how the child feels enough on their own, that helps them keep their head up high in situations like that. But if you have not empowered the child, then you find out that your child will break in these situations because the child is seeking validation from everyone. It's important that we do these things. We help them build their confidence at home, so that through giving them this attention that we're talking about. So when they find themselves in situations, they're able to say to themselves, it's their loss. They're able to say to themselves, there's nothing wrong with me. It's the other person that probably has a problem. And they're able to say to themselves, something, not everybody has to like me, and it is all right. All right. Another thing that helps your child feel you are connected to them is when you see the effort that they make. When you make time to see, to recognize, and to acknowledge the effort that they make. Very, very critical. The other day I was speaking with our almost 16-year-old, and he was saying to me, in recent times, mommy, you have complained so much about the things that I do that I feel like you don't see the efforts that I make. And I was thrown aback, because this is me I try as much as possible to balance, acknowledging your effort as much as, calling you out or holding you accountable, for the things that you're not doing right. But hey, he actually said, it's a long time. I mean, for in recent times, I have hardly done that. You know what I did? I apologized because hey, you want to catch them doing right. You want to catch them doing right as much as you catch them doing wrong. In fact, you want to catch them doing right more than you catch them doing wrong. So if you're a parent that all you do is complain, complain, complain about what they are not doing right, and you hardly recognize or acknowledge and praise the effort that they make, then you are not doing right by them. You're not balancing it, and that on its own is a problem. Okay, if you want your child to feel connected to you or with you, then you need to recognize the efforts that they make, right, as well, much more than focus on the mistakes that they make. Very, very critical. When they feel that they are being listened to, when they feel that they are seen, when they feel that you notice them, when they feel that they are important, then listening to you stops being a chore. Learning from you stops being a chore. It becomes a shared experience. It becomes a shared adventure. So the more you notice, the more you pay attention to your children, the more you give them your time, the more you pay attention and you focus on them, the more you give them, you recognize the effort that they make, the more the child sees you as someone who truly wants their best interest. So at that point, listening to you, at that point, allowing you convince them, at that point, taking in your convictions and your beliefs. At that point, believing in your convictions is not a chore anymore. It becomes a shared experience. It actually becomes a shared adventure. So when you talk, your child feels like this is us. When you are teaching them, your child feels like it's a team thing. When you are saying this thing you're doing, I think you need to look at it a different way. Your child feels like it's the team and we are working for better result or something like that. Your child stops feeling like you are mommy and your stress is too much. They stop feeling like you are an adult who just wants to learn it over them. It becomes a shared adventure. It becomes a shared experience, if you know what I'm saying. All right. Now, what do you do with dear parents? How do you connect with your children? How do we do this? All right, be present. We've talked about that. Be present. When you speak to them, speak kindly to them. Speak kindly to them. In addition to all the things that we have talked about, you being present, not rushing, when you are with them or when you are listening to them, you listen to them and give them your full attention. Look them in the eye when they are telling you a story. I know sometimes you will be tired, but dear parents, it's better for you to give your child an undiluted 5 minutes attention and then say to them, something, let me catch a nap or let me just rest for a bit. We can continue this conversation later in the day or tomorrow. It's better to give them, even if it's a 3 minutes undivided attention, and then you do that excuse than for you to be distracted while you're listening to them for a whole 20 minutes. Do you understand? So it's better just give them 3 minutes, drop the phone, drop everything, and then pay attention to them for 3 to 5 minutes, and then say to them, something, let's talk about this later. I'm waiting for that gist. I'm still expecting that gist there, but keep it, let's continue later. Things like that make them feel like, something, you are with me, you want to hear me, you want to be with me, you enjoy spending time with me. All right, so these are some of the small things that we miss as parents, right? That's it's making a mess of our relationship with our children. I mean, our children between 5 and 10, even our teenagers. These are the small things that we miss, and then we just waste all the years, right, that we could have used to make life, we could have used to connect with these children with these very small efforts here and there. Yeah, so in addition, speak to them kindly. Listen before you start talking or lecturing them. All right. Sometimes before the children start, before they tell us two lines, we take the conversation from them and we turn it into a lecture. They don't like this, especially your preteens. Your preteens don't like this. Of course, your teenagers hate this. So start practicing now that they are young, between 5 and 10. Listen to them. Listen completely. Let them finish the story. And if you have anything that you want to throw in there, throw it there, casually. Don't turn it into a lecture, dear parents. Okay, there's time for everything. All right. Now, use stories. Use stories, tell them a lot of stories. Share your experiences with them. Share your past experiences. Share, experiences from other people's stories, experience of your brother, your sibling, your friends from growing up. Children love it when we talk with them about growing up and what our childhood experiences are. They love it. It feels like, okay, we have something that we share. It feels like, okay, oh, you've been there, you've done that, you know what it feels like to be in my shoes. Now, they don't feel that way. They know, all right, that, you were a child like them once upon a time. But if they don't hear your experiences, then they don't feel like you were in their shoes, at some point. They don't feel it. So tell them those stories, okay? Make them fun and hilarious, and then share them with your children. Very important. And of course, we have said, celebrate their efforts. It will not make their heads big. Forget all those things that they tell you. Don't praise them. If you praise them, their head will be big. Yes, don't praise them. As my coach would say, don't waste all your time telling them how beautiful, how this, how malicha. Don't stop. That's not the point. That's not where the praise should come from. Because if you praise their beauty, if you keep praising their beauty and keep praising their intelligence, then it means that at some point, when they don't feel so beautiful, and there's so many reasons why young people, teenagers, adolescents can stop feeling beautiful. There's a point they will come, they start having breakouts all over their faces, and for some reason they don't feel so beautiful anymore. So they would actually feel that will affect your relationship with them, right? Just the way amongst their friends, when their friends start picking on them, their looks and all of that, they feel like this person hates me. I tell you, for your adolescents, not accepting the way I look or shaming any part of them simply means you don't love them. So forget about looks. They are beautiful. We know they all are beautiful. Let them know you are beautiful. You will always be beautiful to me. As far as I'm concerned, you're the most beautiful person in the world. Let them know that. Know that. Once in a while, let them know that. But hey, stop spending all your time praising and affirming their beauty and all of that. Pay more attention to their efforts. Praise those efforts. Praise those their efforts, their competencies, and all of that, and raise the bar every time. Okay, praise the effort and raise the bar so that you don't become the reason why your child settles. You don't become the reason why your child feels they have arrived. So if you stay on one achievement and continue to praise that achievement over and over and over again, tell the stories over and over and over again, then the child settles feeling that they have arrived. But when you praise them and let them know what more is possible, raise the bar and tell them, you did this so amazingly. I can imagine if you put a little more effort, or if you study this thing for one more month, or if you try this level, I can imagine the kind of results that you will get. What you have done is you have sown seeds in the child, and you have told the child what is possible, or you have shown the child what they can do, or what you believe that they can do. So that's how you praise their efforts and raise the bar a little. And you see something, all of these things we're talking about, this is what we do with the children in the mastermind circle. Yeah, our peer mentorship and accountability group. I run a mentorship and accountability group for children between ages 5 and 10. Now, what we do, we do all of this and more in the mastermind circle. Yes. And we have such solid structure where we do all of this. First of all, we send messages to these children, loving, kind, sweet, encouraging messages to tell them we see them, to tell them we hear them, to tell them we acknowledge them, and to tell them and remind them that they have a giant inside of them. Every morning, the children are reminded of the giants that they have inside of them and how all that giant is waiting to be unlocked. So what you do, or when we do this, we let the children feel empowered. When we do this, they know that there's someone somewhere who believes in them. I say to the parents, you know something, if you don't raise the bar at home, your children are going to, they will feel that you don't even believe in them as much as I believe in them if you don't do your part. So that's why we say it's a partnership between us and the parents. So we partner with you, and so we give you a model that you can use and reinforce in your home. And so that way, your child is getting double barrel from us and from you. So your child feels, I mean, it's not just one person or two people or my parents. There is also this mentor somewhere who believes in me. There's also this mentor somewhere who, I mean, who invests, who invests in me and all of that. And the child feels, I mean, it's double love, it's double encouragement, it's double everything. And that's what you want to do. That's what intentional parents do. They give the children, I mean, they give the children the gifts, right, of mentors, right, who become the other voices, the allies, the allies in the ears of their children. I ask parents every time, if your child is not listening to you, who is that trusted adult that you can go to sleep knowing that the voice of that person is resonating in the head of your child? When I do one-on-one session with children, right, I talk to their parents and I say, you know something, I will not come back and tell you everything, but trust me, you got me here to work with your child. So what you can go to sleep about is that when your child is not listening to you, there's a solid voice. There's a solid voice. I made bold to say there's a solid voice that your child can hear. And whatever it is that needs to be done in the hearts of the child is being done. So you can go to rest knowing that even if they are not listening to me right now, at least they are listening to somebody that I can bank on. What we are saying is, at the Children's Mastermind Circle, you can bank on us when it comes to your child being seen, being heard, right? And your child feeling like there is someone who believes in me. All right. We don't leave it at that. We give the children daily accountability. You'll know. At the end of the day, we make them see their effort. Every effort that you have made today is seen. Every effort that you have made today is recognized. We don't leave it at that. We go on to specifically, refer to something that they have mentioned in their report, and we make them know that, you know something, you are important enough for me to give you my full attention. See, when I say that the mastermind is a solid foundation ground, we're not bragging. I know what I'm talking about, because indeed, everything that your 5 to 10 year old needs when it comes to support, when it comes to mentorship, when it comes to accountability, we get them for Mastermind Circle. All right. So, yes, we do all of that and much more. Is it our one-on-one session? We have quarterly one-on-one session. I did not say group session, one-on-one session with every child. And you know something? During the course of the course of the month, right, parents have direct access. So we're there when you need that other person, right, when you need that other support system to come through for your child. See, the mastermind is buy one and get two free. That's what the mastermind is. And yes, you can get your child on board. If you have a child between 5 and 10 years old, right, you can get them on board immediately, because our 1 year, full year cohort of the Mastermind Circle that is ongoing right now for a few weeks, registration into the Mastermind Circle, the full year circle, ends on the 31st of October. Yes. After the 31st of October, we will shut the circle, and your child cannot come in anymore for the full year circle. All right. And there is a lot. There is so much that the children can learn, by just being in that circle. I promise you, there is a lot, so much that they can learn. If nothing else, they know that they have their biggest cheerleader after their mom and dad. And if you are a mommy or a daddy who is not cheering your child, trust me, your child has got their biggest cheerleader in me. All right. So yes, you want to rush and register your child. The good part is it is so affordable. Yes, the mastermind is so affordable that you get to pay less than 8,000 naira per month for the mastermind cycle. Can you beat that? Can you beat that? Even when I get teachers to scaffold my children for a month or thereabout when they're struggling with any part of their work, I pay as much as 100,000, 80,000, 70,000 for a short period of scaffolding. Yes, your child pays less than 8,000 naira for a wholesome, and I am not joking, for a holistic approach to learning, right? For a curriculum that helps them learn in all areas, of growth. I mean, all areas that will affect their growth and development. So yes, the mastermind is a steal. You want to get in the here. You want to register your child as soon as possible. Thank you very much for joining me again today in the Resourceful Child series. I will be back again tomorrow at 7:30, where we will be looking at another topic that affects your young children. Again, thank you for joining me, and do not forget that connection is the heartbeat of learning. Connection is the heartbeat of every relationship. The heart learns first before the mind learns. So, for your child to learn effectively, you need to connect to them first. So, when you find that mentor, when you find that teacher, when you find that coach that your child connects with, then you want to ensure that you're doing everything to make sure that your child is in that community. And this is what we do with the children that we work with in the Children's Mastermind Circle. I can't wait to have you and your champion, as we call them, right, in the circle. If you want to be a part of what we do, you should. All right. Why don't you check in the comment section after this video, after this session, and you will see all the details that you need to register your child for our present cohort, our ongoing cohort of the Mastermind Circle, especially if your child is between 5 and 10 years old. You can also reach out to us on 081306 to be a part of this transformational experience. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Thank you for joining me again today. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section and I will respond to them. My name is Maribeth Chima, and yes, I am the proud matron of the Mastermind Circle, a mentorship and accountability group for young children. And I'm signing out right now. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. I'll see you again tomorrow at 7:30. Ta-ta. Bye. Thank you.